There's more than one way you can label what would be the hardest and easiest, most cutthroat and most mismatched battles from Battle at the Barracks. Average trick difficulty, length, and margin of victory are three factors that stand out in what makes a battle worth watching. This means that battles filled with tricks that are harder than your typical match, run longer, and are determined by a single letter instead of a blowout are statistically more memorable as the best battles. In order to meet these parameters, a battle's average difficulty needs to have the majority of tricks required to win being less than 76% consistent, more than 54 turns, and a margin of victory of 3 letters or less. Based on the aforementioned requirements, the 10th hardest match in Battle at the Barracks history is the Season 10 Finals battle between Seva Krutkov and Shane O'Neill, where the average trick consistency was under 66%, just barely sneaking by the threshold in terms of match length. This 57-turn battle found Seva at letter T by the 15th turn on the relentlessly difficult Nollie front inward. Before Krutkov became the third person to successfully defend against the 46% consistent switch tray double. Will Fyock and Mike Moe are the only others besides Seva to land Shane's switch tray double on defense. O'Neill turned over control to Seva after missing the Nollie big late flip, and history was made when Shane defended against Krutkov's tray double, which to this day is the only battle where more than one tray double variation was landed on both defense and offense in a single battle. Shane's fixation on the Nollie big late flip gave Seva a second chance to nail the hard flip frontside revert death blow, making Krutkov's last 4 letters on O'Neill a hard flip of some type, and winning by a single letter. The 9th best battle was back in Season 1 when PJ lost to Billy Marks by 1 letter in the 58-turn 3rd place battle. The average trick consistency from this match was a little under 67%, featuring 4 double flip variations and 1 triple kickflip that PJ held onto to avoid E, and Billy similarly hung on by a thread to the last try Rick flip before winning on a Nollie inward. Number 8 is the 63-turn barn burner from Season 7 Round 1 between Chris Chan and Chris Cole. Average trick difficulty was 67.5%, and Chan appeared to be near the end of his rope with letter T from a back 3-1 foot, until Cole missed an inward heel, allowing Chan to tie the battle T to T with the Nollie 3-shove. 4 butt-clenching turnovers ensued, and Chan's switch varial double heel would go down as that battle's death blow for Cole. The 7th hardest battle is the 3rd season's 70-turn bout between Eric Costin and Shane O'Neill, where the average trick consistency needed for Shane to emerge victorious was a hair over 69%. Similar to other battles on this list, all hope appeared to be lost for Costin when he got T on a Nollie frontside 3 kickflip. Shane missed the 540 flip immediately after, and Costin capitalized with a handful of zingers, including pressure and late flip variations, before missing a late varial flip. O'Neill wasted no time in adjourning the battle with the Nollie tray double that proved too much for Costin. Season 3 also features the 6th hardest battle, thanks to the 84 turns endured by both Mike Moe and Peter Raimondetta in Round 1, where the average trick consistency was below 69%. As with all the other matches on this list, Mike Moe's eventual victory was by a margin of only 1 letter, and stayed almost neck and neck, with Raimondetta looking like he'd have the underdog momentum until he missed a front 3. Mike Moe went straight to the tray body varial to abruptly and controversially conclude the battle in his favor. Number 5 is what was at the time an epic Season 7 championship rematch when Cody Cepeda made an astonishing comeback against Luan Oliveira in the 85-turn Season 8 Round 3 battle. At 67% average trick consistency, the most impressive stat about Cody and Luan's Season 8 game of skate is that it holds the record for most landed double flip variations at 15 total. Luan suffered letters S, K, and T from double flip tricks, including the Nollie double kickflip, Nollie double heel flip, and Nollie frontside double flip, respectively. This match also includes Oliveira's famous switch front 540 that gave Cepeda letter T. Ultimately, Cody would repeat his Season 7 victory death blow against Luan with the switch frontside bigger spin. The fourth hardest battle is the Season 5 Round 2 matchup between Tom Asta and Paul Rodriguez. 93 turns transpired in this battle, where the average trick consistency was 68.5%. Tom got P-Rod to letter T first on a switch double heel before turning over offense after a missed hard flip. From there, Paul gave Tom 4 letters in a row and ended the battle on a double heel flip. The third hardest battle was the Season 11 finals match between Seva and Luan, lasting 103 turns with a sub 70% trick consistency average. Luan did his best to stave off Seva's snake-like specials, but the 540 flip and 540 shove it were too much. And Oliveira found himself with letter T and Krutkov only had S. The successful defensive last try Fakie 540 shove it that would have otherwise signified a championship appearance for Seva instead became the catalyst for Luan to land 2 more difficult tricks before Krutkov's turnover on the switch late flip. Luan never lost control of offense in that match after, and gave Seva the remaining 4 letters that were capped off by a half cab inward. The second hardest match is the Shane-Cody Round 2 fight from Season 7. 108 turns, 1 letter margin of victory, and an average trick consistency of merely 66% would arguably make this battle Cody's best of his career. Even better than his championship victory in the same season. Cody opens with a disrespectful switch frontside bigger spin, but misses and gives Shane a short run at offense before he misses a Nollie kickflip. Things cooled down enough for Cepeda to give O'Neal S on the Nollie front 3 big spin, then turned over control after a missed switch flip. Shane kept things subdued with mostly fundamentals that didn't phase Cody, and a botched switch big heel let Cepeda go to work, giving O'Neal K on a switch laser flip. After that, Shane's defense leveled up, where he held off a Nollie laser, 540 flip, Nollie back 3 big, switch front 3 shove, and a Nollie double kickflip, before Cody tried and failed again at the switch frontside bigger spin. O'Neal's second offensive run was cut short by the match's second missed switch flip, but Cody didn't enjoy his third turn to control the tricks for long, missing a backside double flip. Shane finally whipped out his switch tray double to give Cody S, but didn't inflict any other letters before missing the Nollie front inward. With Cepeda in the driver's seat for the 4th time, he managed to give O'Neal letter A, then missed a switch varial flip to hand the keys back to Shane, who gave Cody letter K on a Nollie big flip. At that point, it was time for Cody to show off his defensive skills, impressively holding off a Nollie frontside inward. And as we've since discovered, Cepeda made history by becoming the only skater to defend against that trick, which is technically the single hardest maneuver in the entire tournament to defend. A bigger spin gave Cody A, as well as a Nollie tray flip, but Shane caused the match's last turnover from a trick that would curse him more than once, the Nollie big spin late flip. That would be Cody's green light to continue his onslaught through the bracket, but not before Shane landed a Nollie frontside double flip. Unsurprisingly, O'Neal got T on a switch front 5 shove, the one and only time that trick ever appeared in a battle. Cepeda's eventual championship-winning trick wouldn't be enough to take down Shane, who dealt with the switch frontside bigger spin back in Season 4 Round 1 against Ishad Ware. And it's worth mentioning O'Neal's the only person to defend against a switch frontside bigger spin. Shane's also the only person to defend against a Nollie 360 big flip, a trick that's ended 2 battles so far. First in Season 2 when Corey Kennedy beat Tori Pudwill in the 3rd place battle, and later in Season 9 when Brian Peacock beat Stephen Lawyer in Round 1. The hand touch on Shane's first defensive switch double heel would be the trick Cody could finally rest on for the win. The number 1 hardest battle takes us to the Season 6 championship match between PJ Ladd and Paul Rodriguez. You don't even need to take my word for it. The comments section of the Season 6 championship battle can vouch for how significant PJ and P-Rod's efforts were. There's no battle that's been able to match a T-to-T nail biter, 1-letter margin of victory, 120 turns, with an average trick consistency required to win being under 70%. And this battle was only 67%, well under 70. Barra's probably kicking himself for not posting this battle on YouTube to soak up what would have likely been significant ad revenue, compared to whatever, if any, money comes in from what they post on the Barracks website. The Barracks created their YouTube channel on December 27th, 2013, roughly half a year after this battle was posted on their website, and makes you wonder if the buzz from the Season 6 championship had any influence on motivating the transition from the barracks.com to the more profitable platform. The battle itself is one that was letter for letter the entire time, and by the time P-Rod got letter T on the cab heel, the battle seemed like things could sway one way or the other at any moment. The last time PJ faced P-Rod was in round 3 of Season 5, where Paul was statistically favored to win based on their history. The first time PJ and P-Rod faced each other was in the Season 3 championship, which also came down to a single letter margin of victory and was over 100 turns, but slightly less difficult with the average trick consistency being 73.5%. P-Rod's Season 4 progress was stifled by Rodrigo TX in round 2, but Rodrigo got skunked in the next round by the eventual bracket winner Morgan Smith, who also skunked PJ on the last battle. The next time P-Rod would face PJ was in Season 5, round 3. Which was relatively much shorter at 62 turns, and Lad won by 2 letters instead of their previous 1, but the average trick consistency was below 70%. By the time PJ and P-Rod faced each other for the tiebreaker, Lad benefited from Paul's second failed Nollie backside late flip attempt, getting a 6th opportunity to establish the tricks on offense. Apparently forgetting that he already gave P-Rod letter K with a Fakie Lazer flip, PJ was granted a redo and spun his board 360 degrees backside instead of frontside while heel flipping and turning his body 180 degrees backside to fulfill the requirements of a half cab inward heel flip, which would be the trick that made Costin leave at the most crucial possible moment for some reason. If we flip the requirements to find the hardest battles on their head, and look at the quickest skunked matches, or in other words the least amount of letters given, while also weighing in a high average trick consistency to win, we could be debatably looking at the easiest battles. In that case, the 5th easiest battle was in round 1, Season 5, when Tom Asta skunked Marquise Henry in 40 turns. Maybe the ref blowing on a saxophone instead of a whistle gave everyone a less competitive vibe, making this battle easier.
Keep it going, guys. Let's go.
Too sexy.
But whatever it was, Marquise turned over control to Tom on turn 17, and from there Asta did standard pro-level flat ground tricks that tripped up Marquise, including a frontside kickflip, big spin,
You gotta pop it.
Hold up.
You gotta pop it.
The 4th easiest battle was Tori Pudwill's spanking of Nick Tucker in Season 6, round 1. Tucker started out fine, but a nollie flip, nollie heel, nollie frontside flip, nollie backside flip, and nollie backside heel flip drew the battle to an anticlimactic close on the 24th turn, leaving Nick with no chances on offense to retaliate, and the average trick difficulty being relatively easy at almost 86%. Jerry Sue holds a legendary status in Battle at the Barracks for being the only person with a 100% perfect consistency rate, and then disappearing after winning the one battle in which he competed, defeating Kenny Anderson. That battle from Season 2 Round 1 also happens to be the 3rd easiest match, ending in 31 turns with the average trick consistency being over 86%, and Kenny's 5 letters being the only 5 dealt. Number 2 on the list of easiest battles, under our current criteria finds us returning to Season 6, Round 1, where again Tom Asta was involved, beating Johnny Layton in 20 turns on a tray flip, Nollie flip, Nollie heel flip, Fakie frontside heel flip, and a Nollie backside kickflip, making the average trick consistency rate of the battle more than 10% above average at 87.5%. The easiest battle to win in Battle at the Barracks was not really a surprise when you consider the opening ollies from Tony Mangucci in the Season 12 Round 1 battle, where he got destroyed by Spencer Barton in 28 turns. There's 3 battles in existence where only one flip trick has been landed on defense, and this is one of them, with Tony landing a single kickflip, in between getting S on a Nollie backside heel, K on a Nollie tray flip, A on a tray flip, T on a Nollie big heel, and E on a switch frontside flip. The second time that also kind of happened was in Season 12, Round 1, when Tyler Peterson landed the Battagliotti hand flip. But if you don't count that, then Vallely would actually hold the current record for 0, since he literally missed everything on defense in that match, probably on purpose. The third battle with only one flip trick landed on defense was when Bastian hung on to a switch varial heel flip before getting brutally murdered by Chris Chan in one of the shortest battles ever, back in Season 8, Round 1.